Hello, today I'm going to be playing Hades, which was published and developed by Supergiant Games. It was released in September 17th, 2020. Before that, it had it was in early access for a few years, which signified remarkable progress from the initial time that it was released to its official release date in 2020. It is a single-player roguelike action RPG. It, in my opinion, is a very fun game. Today I'm going to be doing a playthrough of it while talking about most of the basic actions. I'm going to be starting on a save file that I've already completed the main story of, so beware of some spoilers throughout the video. So here we go. Okay, some basic things for is some background. You're playing as Zagreus, the prince of the afterlife, who is the child of Hades and the goddess Persephone. While this is the main area that you kind of start out with and where most of the metagame takes place, this here is Achilles. The exclamation mark above his head means you can talk to him. Usually talking to him is done with R1, and it goes into depths about some of the stories in the backgrounds of the characters and the story that takes place within the game. This here is Cerberus. You can pet and talk to them as well, although they don't necessarily respond. Petting them is really fun. It's so cute. With their three heads. Hades, which is your father, you go through a different relationship with him throughout the whole of the story.
Hello, friend.
There's some here you can buy using different currencies. You can buy just like decorations, just kind of like decorate the underworld as you want. At the beginning, there's really not much there. In fact, this isn't even unlocked until after you complete your first or second run of the actual game. Which is interesting because it locks behind some other things. There's a bunch of other areas like here. This resting area necessarily isn't unlocked until after you beat a couple runs, or not necessarily beat, but at least you complete a couple runs. So the main idea is that you're getting to the surface. You're trying to get out of the underworld, which in Greek mythology is very difficult. As you can tell, this is very centered on Greek mythology and is very influenced by that and has a lot of lore that's behind that. It mainly revolves around Hades, Persephone, and Zagreus, which is who you're playing. Nyx, which is the Knight Incarnate, is also very central to the story, although you don't get to play as her. You only ever get to play as Zagreus.
She's my friend. Next.
All the lines aren't totally voice acted. That is a very good thing for this game, and it has definitely contributed to it being well received. Because with the tens of thousands of lines that it has within the story, if they weren't voice lined, it'd be very tedious for the player to get through. Here, this is your bedroom. You can have certain things to just unlock and like decorate. Here is like a list of like goals that you can get to get some of the currencies, the meta currencies that let you level up and increase your character strengths. Since I'm playing this at a higher level, or towards the end of the game, I have a lot of the stuff already unlocked and upgraded. If you were at the beginning, like you'd only have like the first three here, not the double ones, but these the red ones here: Shadow Presence, Chaotic Vitality, and Death Defiance would be unlocked, and then you'd have to further unlock the rest by using the keys, which are shown down here, by unlocking them. So it gives a wide variety of goals and things to unlock in the game, because there's not only these that you can unlock, but there's so like these are like, this is a thing you can buy at the
How many times?
at the
has it been
contractors, which was shown before. Some of the other things are there as well. The runs are different based on what weapons you use. So, and kind of like what power-ups or boons that you get. I'll get to the boons in a second. So the sword is the first one that you start out with in the initial run. It's fairly simple, as you can see. Like for controller, it'd be square to attack, a normal attack, and triangle is a heavy attack, which takes a little bit more time to do. X would be dash, and then you have a thing called cast, which is circle. So doing the cast lets you do a little bit more damage to enemies that have them on, which are signified above their health bar. And after a while, or after you beat them, they come out of them and you can regain them. Next, this sword is like the standard base one that you can use. Next is the spear. It's a little bit more range, and you can throw it and recall it. You can also charge it up to do like a heavier strike, although you're vulnerable while it's charging. The shield, you can block with the shield while you're holding square here, doing your bull rush. It actually blocks it from the front, and only from the front. You can throw the shield and it will bounce off a certain number of enemies every once in a while, which can be increased. Next is the bow. Here I actually have a different version of the bow, which are unlocked as you play the game. As you get like these blood currencies from beating bosses throughout the game, you can use them to increase the levels and or unlock different ones. Some of the ones are hidden, which are harder to find. You have to complete certain specific things to unlock it. It's very interesting in how it's interwoven with like while playing the game. The aspect of Zagreus for all the weapons are the base ones, so they're unlocked once you unlock the weapons, and the other ones are unlocked through just playing and getting the bloods here. My favorite weapons are the bow here. As you can see, like the play style is like fairly different from other things. It's not really encouraged because you have to like, you have to hold and charge, and it's like more stay in one place. The fists are another one of my favorites because it's like it's kind of like boxing. You get your pummel, which is like a very quick attack, and then you have an uppercut as your second one on your triangle, and the dash attack is fun as like a hook. Next is the admin rail. Yeah, the admin rail. Sorry, it's basically just like a gun. It's like a straight turret. You can fire off like a little mortar attack here in the area. You can move it around. It's a little bit more intuitive on the controller with this aiming, I think, which I don't believe is a popular opinion, but I found it was very interesting. At first, you see me dashing around with X here. You only get one dash starting out, but you can upgrade them. I have two, which I think is the max, which is fun. I'm going to go with... as I click on each of these weapons here, they each have like 3 other versions that you can unlock based off of different gods or and sometimes like Arthur historical figures within the game. After you reach the surface and beat the final boss that's there, you unlock this thing called the Pact of Punishment, which basically is designed to make the game harder. The more times you clear the game, you clear getting to the surface, it gives you more heat, which makes the game harder, and it's based on what you want to choose. So for me personally, like it could change up bosses, like how the bosses work, which is interesting, but it can be very frustrating at times because you have to learn a whole new boss style, like the damage they do, or you can do like a speed run here, which is like the tight deadline. You have to clear it within a certain amount of times, a certain time limit. Each region, as the game calls it, in a certain amount of time, or else you start losing health, and that's it makes it hard. I think 9 minutes is pretty easy to clear, personally, but that's also after playing the game for a while. I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier, but the game is available on PC, Mac, and Switch currently. From what I know, they are planning to have it on the other consoles, but just unsure at a time currently. There is no DLC at this time either. They may be planning to add that in the future, but they are unsure currently. So I'm going to go
Need more
with
practice, pal? I think I need
the
my
bow. And I'm going to... my favorite is the aspect of Hera, because what it does is I can load in the cast and have it added to my attack, so it makes the base attack stronger. And there are certain boons that make it easy to do, make it that follow this benefit. Okay, so the keepsakes are things that benefit you most of the time. There's one for each of the main pantheon gods within Greek history. So Zeus, Poseidon, Athena, Aphrodite, not Hades. There is one for Hades, but it's after you beat the main portion of the game, which I have unlocked here, of course. Ares, Artemis, Dionysus, Hermes, Demeter, and Chaos is a special case. It's a little interesting because it makes the Chaos makes the game harder based on your choice. And then there's other ones that do different things. Boons in the game are basically just like things that power up, that power you up. So boons can be viewed here. There's one for your main attack, one for your secondary attack, for your heavy attack. There's one for your cast and one for your dash, and there's one for something called an aid, which is like a super attack that charges up per room. So that can be it can be beneficial for certain ones, but there are certain ones that I don't like personally, but I can see certain people liking it. Boons have different rarities. So common, rare, heroic. No, rare. It goes blue, purple, orange, like red, orange, orange. So that's it goes common, rare, ultra rare. Is it ultra rare? Or here I can actually check because I have stuff that increases that. So orange is legendary. Epic, sorry. So it goes uncommon, rare, epic, heroic, legendary. And then there are special ones called duos, which are, like combine two gods' aspects into what they kind of do. Each of the gods has its each of the sets of boons have their own speciality. So Zeus obviously is the god of thunder and lightning, and god of the sky, and leader of the Olympians in Greek lore. Obviously has lightning. Poseidon, water, is pushback, so knockback, and he features knockback stuff and stuff that implement it. Athena features like deflection, so bullet deflection and projectile deflections can be useful at times. Aphrodite features weakness. Weakness is like makes the enemies weaker for a certain amount of time. The base I think is like 5 seconds or so. That's interesting. Ares inflicts doom. So doom is a special damage over time, or DOT type of damage. After a few seconds, it will go and tick the damage, and it will cause like a delay damage to the person. Artemis is critical, so critical hits, and which increases damage 2 to 3 times. But that can be it influences chances and critical damage most of the time, which is always good, or mostly good depending on what you're going for. Dionysus deals with poison damage, so damage over time that ticks every second. That's usually a good thing, and it's very interesting. And he offers a couple things to reduce damage. Hermes is strictly like movement speed and some coin stuff, and attack speeds. That's he comes in usually in the second region, which I'll get to in a little bit. Demeter, who is usually the goddess of the harvest in Greek mythology, has to deal with frost, so it's stuff that like chills and slows enemies, which is really good. Is also one of the preferred gods or goddesses within the game because of how it chills and slows different people. Okay, I think I'm going to with this build I tend to prefer Dionysus, because I like one of his augments to the cast, which is the red things. Makes it go explode. I'm going to try to get it. I can't guarantee that I'll get it. I can just guarantee that I get the chance to get it. So on with this bow, or the bow in general, I'm on heat 8, so I need to have 8 different modifiers to make my run harder. Right now I have the first boss of the first region have different runs. I have more enemies. I have less healing effects from like healing items that you can find. More damage dealt to me. More health for the enemies, and the first hit of damage that I do to enemies is negated. That one is here or there. It's good at 1. If it gets more, it can be a little bit more challenging. I think I'm going to actually go with tight deadline to increase it, so I can try to minimize this video. I can't guarantee winning or losing in this, obviously, because it's based on certain things. So I'll begin the escape.
What could go wrong?
As we go forward,
The Elder Sigil shall never work for you, boy.
these little things are interesting. I have not seen a duplicate intro like this yet in the 100+ hours I've played this game. So that's, if anything, that says something. So here's the effect of the boon there.
Generous right now, know what I mean? And so he's something extra potent for you. Ought to keep you going for a while longer than you're used to there.
And voice acting is absolutely great in this game. So I got 2 rares and an epic here. I don't particularly want to have any of these right now. So this here is something that you can get from the mirror that I was showing earlier. It lets you re-roll, as you can see. I have 4 of these right now, as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, above the money there. So I'm gonna re-roll it once and see what I get. It won't guarantee there are 2 rares in the epic for the next choices, but it will at least let me see something different. Ooh, perfect. Trippy Flare. So that this will augment my cast. So instead of the base 50 damage, it'll show the 140 there. And it being epic is actually good because it gets more damage than usual. At the base, at the common level, it would be 100 damage, I believe, instead of 140. So I'm going to take that.
Let's liven things
So
up.
now I can do this. Here are some enemies. So that blast after me firing is what the effect of the what I just got, the boon of I just got. This game also includes a codex is what it's called, so you can see like the different gods and your relationships with those gods, because the relationships further your stories and your actual relationships with the gods and goddesses, and it's very interesting. There are some romantic choices that you can have too, and just overall lore and people that you can meet within the world. I'm sorry that my controller's messing it up right now, and the different enemies and lore over those enemies. It's very nice to have these, and I like different currencies here as well. Are very interesting. There's also fishing, and I've caught not every fish because some of them are rare, and I have different companions and stuff as well. So in the bottom left-hand corner, you see the time ticking down. Obviously, the three little heads that signify Zagreus there are my death defiances. So they let me instead of dying one time per one of those, I can continue on. And I have 100 health, and you can see certain things. So I have a good start right now. I'm gonna beat this room. So enemies come in rooms and they come in waves. I'm not sure exactly on how many rooms there are per region. There are mini bosses as well, and environments are destructible and they cause damage. There's a lot that goes in this game, and I love this game. So I chose this room. This, I believe, it shows you the wards most of the time before you go into the room for beating the room. There are traps which you can trigger by setting things off, so it damages both you and the enemies. See there, I got hit and I killed an enemy with a trap. So I get a key. So I for this, because I unlocked something with the constructor, which I showed earlier, I get an extra reroll thing later on. So here I can choose some money. There is a shop. After every run, you do not keep the money. That money there. That money is solely just for during the runs. Or power pomegranates, which is the fruit of in Hades' garden, which was given by Persephone. They level up your boons. So you notice here how it's Trippy Flare at level 1, epic level 1. So that if I would do that, it would go up to level 2, which increases the damage and such. Right now I'm going to go to the get money actually, because I like being able to get money at things at shops generally later.
Okay.
These crystals fire lasers. And, I believe they're called slow crystals. And they're fairly annoying. This guy spawns those heads, which are called morons, I think. Or something close to that. Or knuckleheads is what they're called, I think. Sorry. They're getting too many would be annoying. Here is the darkness, which is used to upgrade Zagreus, and here's jewels, which with a mini boss, which you can see by the symbol with the skull there. I'll actually go there so I can share the mini boss. So here you have bombs, which can augment power. So now the yellow is shields, so they're not getting staggered when they have those shields on, and they take more damage to kill. More than usual anyway. And they also do like a slightly different move set, or move it or attack faster and whatnot. And have a mini shop. Okay.
Colorful.
Grab that. So this is the Well of Charon, the ferry boatman from the mythologies. So it offers like certain things for a certain amount of gold here. I actually don't want any of these currently because I don't really need any of them. But they show up kind of randomly, or if you get certain items, you can force them to spawn. So I'm just going to move on, which to more money, it looks like. Oh, good. More knuckleheads. I actually need to get moving because I'm starting to run low on time. So the reception of Hades was overwhelmingly positive. There was not, to the best of my knowledge, anyone who, or there was not very many complaints about the game. Or anything like that. Shortly afterwards, they did some balancing stuff and balanced a couple of the weapons and the damage and in boons, which was also received fairly well. So and they won a bunch of awards too as well. So like they won, or they were also nominated, won and or nominated for a bunch of awards. So like at the Golden Joystick Awards, they were nominated for like the Ultimate Game of the Year, the PC Game of the Year, Best Storytelling, Best Visual Design, and Best Indie Game. I'm going to go to the left here. This right one is the shop where you can buy with gold. This to the left is a hammer, which lets you upgrade an attack, like your weapon a little bit. Best of my knowledge, you can only ever have 2 of those upgrades at any given time. So I'm actually getting one early is really nice because it kind of defines your run a little bit as well. Okay. You. Well, I was on topic of awards here. Sorry. I also won a couple games at a couple awards at the Game Awards of 2020, such as Best Indie, Best Action. Also was nominated for a couple and won a couple of British Academy Awards as well from the 17th British Academy Awards. It was nominated for Audio Achievement, Music, and Original Property. I won Best Game Artistic Achievement, Game Design Narrative, and Performing in a Supporting Role with Logan Cunningham as one of the characters. So here, the Daedalus Hammer. These are randomly chosen, I think, between 8 to 9 different upgrades. None of these are particularly good. I'm gonna do Concentrated Volley, which is a little bit good. Is okay. It's not bad, but it's okay. And then I get a mini boss here with the boon of Dionysus.
I see you, sneak.
Got him here. There we go. Okay, Dionysus, what do you got for me? Okay, so fountains are things that are rooms that don't have enemies in them, and you get whatever thing is there for free. So it tends to, and there's always a fountain. There's a fountain there that restores your health. I believe there's at least one in every after every boss, and then on the regions there's at least the potential for one for each of the regions as well. Taking damage while at 40% less or health. This will actually show up. It'll notify you when it happens, and this is actually really good, especially when I get the lower health. I think I'm actually going to take that. This here is a fishing spot, which you can unlock just by playing the game. Notably, it's through Poseidon that the fishing is there, seeing how he's the god of the sea and earthquakes. Come to this spot and hit R1 until you see the bobber go underwater. There we go. And hit R1 again to catch it. And there's several different fish. I think there's 6 fish from what I showed in the codex earlier. So this one to the right is health. It increases max health, which I think I'm actually going to get. And the one to the left is another pomegranate. This first region here is Tartarus. So this is the lowest depths of the underworld. Notably where like certain titans, at least in the original lore, are held. As Hades as like the Overwatcher. Get that max health, and I found it. Didn't Demeter. Okay, I heard early today. About a minute left in this region, and that includes the boss. Bye. Shall see. Okay. This may be hard. Oh, trap kill, nice, okay.
Your enemies shall have no
30
shelter
seconds
from
left. Yeah, diameter. I'm sorry, I'm skipping through the voice scene, the voices, because I've heard a lot of this kind of before, or close to it, at least when it comes to the talking about the boons. Okay. Also, all the gods all have at least one. That when, after you take damage, you do damage to foe as like a revenge. It can be good. There's a good synergy with Ares. That instead of doing every damage, it does it like it procs it fairly often, or a certain like amount of time. I'm going to take the special, so that increases my damage and inflicts chill. I'm going to go to the right here. So this one to the right is a nectar. So this is what's used to further like relationships early on with the gods and unlock different contents. There's also a synergy with Dionysus where every time you get one you get more max health, which is nice. I do not currently have it, but that's okay. I have 8 seconds. So you'll see me start losing health here, potentially.
The Pact.
Yep. Yep, so that okay, that defines.
Ah, you.
So, oh, it's 5 health per second, I'm sorry. That's worse. Yeah, I'm just gonna I'm gonna be losing here. I'm very sorry, so I'll do another run. Hopefully it won't take a very long time. If it starts taking a long time, I will obviously cut here. But yeah, Hades is a very good game, personally speaking. Let me get out of here. There are times where you get these rooms. I'm gonna be dead. So those double rooms lets you choose one, and then choose a god, and then you have to fight enemies while a hazard from the other god is going on. It basically just makes them mad. If you get through it without, if you just get through it, you end up getting both boons, which can be very good, but they can be very risky early on. And obviously, I just died due to the time limit. So
I missed my deadline.
I will rush through here right now. I don't feel like talking to anyone. I'm also going to use a different weapon, I think. I'll use the shield. This actually should be a little bit easier because I don't think I've been the heat on... Yeah, I just need that force, so I'm going to take off time, damage control, the boss so you can actually see and hopefully get to the boss. And a health, so let's go.
What's the matter there, boy? What are the limits?
Yeah, well, like, as you can see, I like aspect of Beowulf. That's another legend, which pays. This game pays tribute to. I'm gonna just use the base one though, and I'll go out like this.
On to business then.
Excuse me. So I probably want to change out Dionysus, but that's okay.
Got you, Zach. Got just the thing right here.
Dionysus is such a cool dude. I'm going to... I'll do dash this time, perfect dash. So now my dash leaves it behind these little things that causes the poison damage. Which stacks to a certain amount. Okay. Ah, so we have a Chaos Portal here, which I will probably take. Grab that. Ooh, Artemis, okay. Yeah, I think I'll descend here. So it costs life to go into these portals. They can be risky, but they can be also very worth it. So you're in the Realm of Chaos right now. Here's Chaos. Notice how he's holding, or they are, I guess, because technically they are not. He or she. They influence certain things like House of having a detriment usually. So none of these are actually specifically good. So I'm gonna send it next. None of these are also good, so I'll go next. This one's good. So at the cost of movement speed, exactly 46%. After the 3 encounters of having the minus speed, I get 37 attack damage. Or 37% attack damage. Which is actually really good. Especially for what I'm doing right now. So you can see I'm noticeably slower. So if you're going for like times, it's not worth it. Okay, so Bull Rush, try to get going a little bit faster. You can gain extra damage by slamming things into walls, which you'll see like it'll say in like white like wall slam, which is nice. Another way to get more damage. So this is a pomegranate. As you can see, it upgrades my dash. So instead of 2 damage per second or every half second, it deals 3 damage every half second. Next, I have a Daedalus Hammer. These pots here are gold. The base, you can unlock the gold pots by via the contractor with the jewels. Which is fun. Yeah, it's an easier room. Okay. So my special, which is the shield thrower, can attack, hit 4 more. So this fires a shot instead of actually firing me across. I'll actually take that. Dash strike. Take that. So now does a shot. I'm gonna go left because I don't. Shops do not count as encounters because you're not actively fighting enemies.
That's what you get.
As you saw there, some of the enemies got crushed by the falling debris from destroying that pillar. Another interesting that the environment damage can actually affect the enemies. I just have to be careful of the traps here. Go.
My boon from chaos is transformed.
Yeah, and there. Okay, so now I have the now after that voice line I actually have the attack damage now. So I have not Artemis, Athena on the right hand side here, or Dionysus again. I'm gonna go for Athena because Athena with the shield is really good. Anything that deflects or can protect you for a certain amount of time tends to be good.
I thought crystals were supposed to be pretty.
This crystal is also very nice. I can also actively block stuff if I chose to. With the bow, this enemy is absolutely annoying because they are all over the place. So I'm gonna gift the nectar from earlier.
You care so much about this family. That care and your determination spurs me on. I'm ever grateful.
So the lore for the boons is that the gods are actively helping you escape from from the underworld, which is why the excuse for the game of why this mechanic is there. And it's interesting. I'm not sure if they would have actually, or at least not all of them, I don't think would have helped. Specifically Zeus, I don't think he would have helped early on. Resist damage is okay, but I can get better from other places. Advantage damage is okay, but I'm gonna go with the attack can deflect. No, I'm gonna reroll actually.
Any other
I'm
boons
gonna
for
reroll.
me?
I don't like any of these actually. We can go with the traps. So this here it requires a certain amount of heat to unlock. It's just another. It's like a side. It's like a sub room. So instead of going to the next room, I can go down here and try to defeat enemies without getting hit, and gain the pomegranate. Or I can just go and get the health. Since I don't have the required heat, I'm one away from it. I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to actually get the health. Heat up. Health.
Strength of the centaurs.
Go to the next one because I don't have a choice. Go. Next is a pump of power. Go on to words.
Delicious.
I'm gonna show you guys this one. So this is another double room. This one has Dionysus and
Pick a favorite.
Athena there. So I'm gonna go with Dionysus first because I don't like dealing with his poison that he spreads all over the place. Yeah, I'll do special because I want to start inflicting that more often.
If you had given due consideration to this,
Yeah, I know you're mad at me.
I hate to do this, Athena.
It's fine.
I guess she's upset. Barely got through.
all is forgiven, Zach.
Yeah, you forgive me? I'll grab her call. Yeah, why not?
Your wisdom guide me. Whatever, let's try it.
Okay, so this one it gives me the 150. It ticks down. So the goal of this is like a mini game, just slay everything as fast as I possibly can. Which thankfully right now I can do. There's certain weapons like the that make it a lot harder to do that. The shield's one of the easier ones. And it's nice because I can get that.
Mine now.
Get 100 more of those and get health back.
Time to collect.
And now I'm going into the shop. So here we have Charon, a Poseidon boon, a pomegranate, and a key. Now that I have enough, I can actually just buy all of them, which is what I usually do because it doesn't hurt. Do dash. Let's grab a second. See what I get.
Just say, nephew, that money-hoarding boatman best be fair with you.
Okay, so I have an attack which does knockback, which isn't that bad. God gauge, which is the gauge that for the aids has done, or I get random stuff, which I don't really need right now. So I'm gonna go with the God gauge because it's really nice to have when I take damage. Here's the first boss.
Sure enough.
What is it, Zagreus? You look a little hesitant.
Which is usually the first boss is one of the three Furies, like Megra, obviously, which is who I'm fighting, and one of her other two sisters. Each of them has their own mechanics and is randomly chosen by the game. I just happen to get Megra, which is the first one you actually encounter. You start encountering her sisters after you've beaten her the first time. The first time, like, running through any of this is really hard. But with the shield, I can also block a lot of her attacks, which makes it kind of unfair. She also hits really hard. There we go. So that one was relatively easier for me because I've seen her so many times. Time Blood is stuff that you use to unlock in level up weapons and some other unlocks. There is a trading like a mini trading system where you can trade some of the other stuff in, like some of the other meta currency in for other currency. So after every boss but the final boss, there's a room like this where it contains a fountain which lets you restore some HP, lets you choose a different keepsake, which so you can organize your runs better. I'm actually going to choose Zeus here because I think he pairs fairly well with the shield, especially if I get a Daedalus Hammer that I want. And I always kind of check one of these because they can be very good to have.
Broke out of Tartarus.
Keepsakes are unlocked. I don't think I mentioned this before. They're unlocked by giving each of the gods a nectar for the first time. It's always the first time, first or third time, but it's always nice to have them. It's been a while since I've actually had to unlock them, as you can tell. They're also leveled up by using them. So each encounter, quote-unquote encounter, will increase the counter, which is you need to meet the threshold to level them up. So getting them to 3 stars is the max. 1 star is the least. But they tend to be better at the higher, of course. So calls you can use when the gauge is full, which is underneath my health, as you can see. That just ticks up over time, or in my case, taking damage right now also increases it, and it goes away as soon as the encounter is done. The max, when it fills all 4 pieces of it, it's called a greater call. So it lasts longer and it does more damage and or has more of an effect than usual. So I'm gonna go to Zeus here because I want to increase my attack right now, or distract it. And there's a Chaos Gate here. I hate these enemies. They're very annoying because you can get caught and wombo comboed. These are the Plains of Asphodel. So these are they used to be better. They used to look a lot nicer, but they have been since filled with like a lava or river of lava.
So close.
Tiger heads.
Lord Uncle Zeus.
And if you stand in the lava, you do take damage.
Keep you safe
Um,
from your father's
unfortunately.
face. But while you're still inside
Here's
that
Zeus.
underworld, there's only so much we can do.
Yes, I know. Okay, so as you can see, his stuff resolves around lightning. So I'm gonna actually do this because it gives me some extra damage for right now. And I'm gonna go here. Thanatos, one of the gods of death. He tends to ferry souls from the land of the living, which is our world, to the underworld for Hades, or guides them at least, supposedly. Here is like just a little competition that we do. Who gets the most kills? He will give you an extra boost, health boost, in addition to whatever else you get in the room. If you beat him, if you don't beat him, you don't get that. You just get whatever was in the room. So if this was a health increase, I would get 50 health instead of the normal 25, or I would get 25 in addition to whatever else I would normally get. As you can see, he kills everything with one shot because he deals 999,000 damage. Or 9,999 damage, which I think is just the max damage in the game. He's a ruler of death. I'm actually doing very well against him. I've had it where it doesn't spawn nearly as many enemies, or nearly as many weak enemies, and I've just lost. So I'll grab that. See, he comes over here and he gives me health. Thank you.
Keep going.
Bye, Than.
There's a shop hat.
Let's have a look.
Health restore traps, which includes the lava. And a cast. I didn't mean to grab that, but I'll grab it. And I'll go to Zeus again.
Off we go. Barge of Death, you're here.
Okay, so this is special. You kind of locked into this until it reaches the other side, or until you reach beat all three waves of the enemies. You have to watch out for these bombs; they will hurt you. These blue guys, these blue crystals, will cause the enemies to be invincible for a certain amount, like a few seconds. Meaning they won't take any damage, which is fairly annoying. So I tend to prioritize them because just getting them out of the way just helps me overall. See, he made that one impervious for a couple of seconds here. Just get him out of the way. Bomber guys are not fun. And there we go, and he was crushed. Nice. And that ends the boat ride. I get Elysium. Jolted is a special effect, so when they attack, it will cause the 80 damage. Is actually really good because it works well with my attack. This counts as a status effect while it's on them. If you I have through the mirror. There's one like you get 40% extra damage to an enemy if they have two status effects on them. Currently, I have Hangover or the Poison, which is a status effect, and the Jolted, which is also a status effect. So we see on the health there, it has that symbol next to it. That means they are affected by the 40%, and they take more damage. And then your attack sounds slightly different audio-wise, which is nice. I tend to build my builds around doing the double status effects because the 40% extra damage is really nice. But it's just my way of playing. There are other ways to play that don't include that. See, I'm just kind of chunking through these guys now, which is I have 361. I'm gonna go for the health actually, because I feel like I'm running a little low. I don't believe there's a cap on max health, but it also depends on what you actually get. I guess the cap would be if every room that you go into has the health, but that is not necessarily a smart way to play unless you're going for just base build other than health. I'm missing someone there. As you can see, the enemies also get hurt by the lava that's around here. Take 5 damage a tick on the lava. You take 1 damage per tick, but it can also be very add up very quickly. But you can also just dash over it like I'm doing. Shop or Hermes? I'm going to go to Hermes because I want to see what he has. Okay. This is the room right before a boss. Let's see.
Hey, you stop timing yourself, boss. Everything all right? If that's not a cry for help, well, I don't know what is. Here.
So this one gives you money per chamber. It's okay. It would be better early on. I guess right now is relatively early. Recover some health. It's okay. Dash becomes sturdy, so that it gives me like a shielding, lowers some damage while I'm having that shield up, and I get to move 100% faster for a short duration, which is half a second. I think I'm actually going to go with side hustle because it promotes going to shops more later. Next up is the boss of this region. So this is the Bone Hydra, aptly named Lerny. Fun fact about the Hydra is actually called the Linearian Hydra, and it gets turned into Lerny throughout the game, and the name actually changes as you go through, progress, and beat him a couple times. He has a couple different heads, and the boss can spawn with a different head. Right now, the main head is a regular, is the standard one, is the first one you encounter. These green ones spawn enemies that after a certain tick goes down. That can also be main head, and it can be very annoying. I found this spawning the enemies the most annoying, to be honest. And the other head spews the fire things, which adds fire to the environment, which is also very annoying. As you notice, I cannot actually damage the main head while these other heads are here, so I have to defeat all of them in order to, yes. I'm going to do the Greater Call now, since I now actually have that. So Athena's lets me be invincible for a certain amount of time until that gauge on the bottom left is gone. The bell sounds tell me that it's close to being up, which is nice. It's a nice audio cue. Even if I'm not paying attention wholly to what's going down in that left-hand corner. So what I'm about to do is call in a buddy from Sisyphus. So it drops us a variety of items and does 1,000 damage to an enemy in the room. I have 3 charges of that. And this is locked just through increasing your relationship with Sisyphus, who is found in Tartarus. While playing, each of the 3 main regions has a random NPC that you can encounter. Sisyphus just happens to be the one found in Tartarus. In Greek legend, Sisyphus was a king who defied the gods and was punished by Zeus to internally push a rock up a hill for the rest of his life. For eternity in the afterlife here. So that was an interesting way to show that you can incorporate the other myths into the into the world. There's also Orpheus, which is in his lover, who I'm forgetting the name of currently, which is found in the Plains of Asphodel. We are now in Elysium. It's the heart of the three main areas, I think, because of the enemy types that are here. I'm going to go for Daedalus Hammer instead of Hermes, because I want to see what I can get. There's a fishing area here. These carts are annoying because they explode on contact, and can be rather tedious to take care of because they tend to spawn and group up relatively a lot. So these guys are annoying because they spawn these little things which, if you let them go, they can revive at full health, which is very annoying. There's a sword, a lance, a bow, and a shield user of those as different types that do that. I'm going to go and Pulverizing Blow because it does really well with the Zeus. So instead of once when I do the main attack here, it procs it twice. So it counts as 2 hits instead of 1. And I'm going to get more health because I have a lot of money. And I forgot to go to the fishing spot. Oh well. Okay, these guys, they'll throw it, which then explodes into more. Also fairly annoying. But if you have the right build, you can easily kind of counteract. So deflection is really good for those because it'll deflect them right back at them, which is fun to do. And kind of handles them a lot easier, or blocking, I guess, with the shield. Each area also has their own little song, like main theme song. I'm not sure if you can really hear it right now, but it's this one jams a lot. It's really cool. I'm gonna go for the double boon. No, I'm gonna go to the shop actually. I want to see what it has. I don't feel like dealing with a double boon right now. Okay, so Palm of Power, which is nice. I'm gonna upgrade Jolted. You know, I also just kind of ran through. I didn't change my keepsake after the last boss. I am sorry. I'm kind of dropping the ball about do the damage resistance a little bit. I'll go Poseidon. So the Minotaur, Asterius, the Bull of Minos, is not another famous myth within Greek mythology. It's the bull that resided within the Labyrinth in Greek mythology. Or, sorry, the Minotaur that resided within the Labyrinth in Greek mythology and was beaten by Theseus. He's actually one of the main bosses for the region. So he shows up twice, both as a mini boss and as a main boss within the game. Okay. So as you can see, his health bar still had like a quarter left or so, which is entirely different from actually defeating him. Speaking of Theseus, and I also get this Poseidon boon.
These river denizens you've called little Hades, it can only mean we share a deep connection, don't you think? I, with my power over the entire vastness of...
Alright, I don't particularly get what you're talking about. I guess I'll do the cast since I don't actually have that yet. And that'll be fun. trying not to use a Death Defiance. Using them for the final boss is always good. Hermes. I can dash again. Or I can have my God Gauge charge automatically. God Gauge is fine. I'm going for a heavy God Gauge one right now. Mostly because invulnerability is really nice. I'll do a Palm Power because getting more strength is always good. There we go. Hopefully not dying. And I died. Okay.
Finished.
Let's see. Probably not blocking as much as I should, but that's okay. Having a good run so far. That's all I can really ask for. These butterfly spheres are really annoying because they produce these little butterflies that deal a damage or like several damage to you at any given time, and as you can see, they can freaking go everywhere, and it's really bad if you're surrounded by them.
Have a nice death.
I'll do the damage resistance because the extra 5% is really good. And more health, because always more health. The more damage I can take, the better.
Splitters.
Okay.
Got you covered.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the left here. This is the NPC room for Elysium here. Spoilers, because it has to deal with Achilles and Patroclus. So this is nice because you can increase your attack damage for a certain amount of rooms. You can find more health if you're running low on health, or you can replenish all your Death Defiance. I usually go for the Death Defiance, especially if I lost one or two on the way here. It's nice to have for sure. And here I'll go to the shop because I have a lot of money. And I'll probably end up getting health. Plus it's right next to the boss room. So this is what I was talking about earlier with like the increase with the ambrosia here. Get max health. It's always nice. So I'll just grab that because I get one now, and I get max health. Grab you.
Tower of Olympus.
Jolt damage, God Gauge, or that. I'm gonna go jolt damage because having that as a tick, especially since my main attack's the one that's dealing jolt, is always nice. Here, the bosses of the Asterios, of course, again, and Theseus, the hero of Athens, where the Labyrinth was set. You have to face both of them at the same time, and it can get very bad. So I tend to go for the Minotaur first, especially since he's a little bit easier to deal with, and he doesn't actively block my attacks. So while doing this, Theseus is fairly annoying because he's attacking you. Died many times to these two. And I died, which is why I went for the Death Defiance earlier. Okay, there goes Minotaur.
Lord Ares, lend me your might.
And he gets the boon of a god. Could be any of the gods. And he inflicts doom on me if I get hit, which is also fairly annoying. I don't know how the game determines which god. Certain ones are really annoying. Ones that do constant damage to you, like Dionysus, are absolutely annoying because you lose a lot of health without realizing it. But I was able to beat them. So I get Ambrosia, which also helps further relationships
Thank you for your support, my shade.
with people, and is more of a sacred nectar than some of the other stuff. So I'll get that. Here I'm gonna take the top right tooth because it gives me an extra death defiance, which I'll need for the final boss, which will be coming up. I'm also gonna restore some of my health because having more health in this area is nice. This fountain here I don't think I've explained. So you can purge your boons. If you don't want one, you can sell it for money if you're in dire need. I tend not to because I find I get enough money in the first place, which is nice. So there is one more area, which is the Labyrinth. As you can see, provides like a nice little map. Before you get to the actual surface, we'll see in a second. So here you get a shop area just like out in the open. Cerberus is blocking you right to get to the surface as like the god. As the myths go, he's the guard dog to the entrance of hell.
Where would I be?
So this is like the main entrance. Here you have to fight some different enemies that deal like poison and are relatively more annoying. So I get to choose a path here. Obviously, the mini bosses are here. I tend to not go for mini bosses because they tend to be difficult. So I'm gonna go with the health first. Hopefully, find what I'm looking for. And these guys throw out bombs in an area, which is really annoying. Beat them as fast as possible. So you face it. You go through a series of like mini rooms and then a main room, which after you beat it gains the or drops the item. So these rats are putting down poison, which I will take damage if I step in it, and I can heal it here at this thing here with the root in the cool. These are satyrs. They also deal poison damage. Or can poison you. They are fairly annoying, especially if they're shielded or elite, because they can shoot out a three-pronged attack instead of only in one direction, which makes it harder to dodge. There are rats which are die in one hit, but are numerous, or the big one which lays down poison in certain areas. Here's the main room. As you can see, satyrs, which are annoying. Please get hit by the traps. Take 600 damage. There's little gas areas which also poison. There's these guys which non-poison. So it clearly shows you the effect, and I can just heal it. The pool went dark for a little bit, but if I get poisoned again, I can't use that specific pool. But these bigger areas provide pools. Usually, and you put the pools up again. As I said, it's like a poison. Take this back to the entrance to where I was before. I heard a ding. So that ding signifies a fishing spot usually. I don't see where it is. It might be over here. Yes, it's down here. Go fishing. Woohoo. Woohoo. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Fish. Oh. Not yet. There we go. Ooh, I have not gotten that one before. Stormwall. That's interesting. That's a new one. Huh. Interesting. So this one here, you can buy one, the bloods, the 10 bloods, but I'm not going to. So this one here, I can trade in one of the Daedalus Hammer upgrades for 2 random ones. I'm not going to do that because I don't feel like I like what I got, and I don't want to randomly get something else right now. It's a way to change up your run if you feel like you need to. I'm gonna go for the money next.
Should check this way.
We'll see if what I'm looking for is here. I'm sorry, there's also like always a lot going on the screen. Action RPGs, which this is one, do a lot of special, like a lot of visual effects, but the Switch, which I mainly play this on, which I'm not currently playing this on, handles it fairly well. I almost never see a drop in frame rates, which is awesome. It means it's optimized fairly well. So this game, as long as you can see the enemy, and which is signified by the health bar, which is usually where I'm looking to tell where an enemy is, it's easy enough to track where they are. Okay. I think there's one more room. I think it's the main room. Yep. Watch out for those dropping sides as I'm getting hit by the lasers of the snake thing. I don't want to get hit by them. They hurt. There we go. So the mini bosses of this region are, there's a big snake statue, which does a lot of lasers. There's a mega satyr. There is a mega rat, like a boss rat, which is like one of the small rats. I got poisoned. One of the small rats, just like super hard. And that one's a fun one, but it is one of the bosses. The satyr I like least, just in general. I'm sorry if you heard that email. Don't know why that was there. But hey, live recording. And this room. Sometimes I get unlucky choosing routes. Sometimes it's locked behind on the boss routes, which would be annoying. But I tend to save the boss routes for last because I don't want to have to deal with them most of the time. But we'll see. Okay, here we go. I'm just flying through these rooms. Don't want to get... here we go. So, instead of actually fighting Cerberus here, I didn't mean to just click through that. That's okay. You get a satyr sack, which is food, is a snack for the 3-headed dog. So you kind of bribe your way out, which is nice. I'm going to stop by over here. I'm going to grab the palm. These ones are a little bit more powerful. They add 2 levels instead of 1, which is nice. So obviously, but it only goes towards 1 as a trade-off. So I'll do the cast shot. I'll do Athena because I have a chance. So starting with the guy gauge partly full is nice. It's only going to matter for this one fight, which is going on to the boss. So I'm going to talk to Cerberus.
Has the prince again persuaded fearsome Cerberus to get out of his way?
Yeah. And it gives you annihilated his appetite. They do a lot of fun things with Cerberus. They add a little humor into the otherwise kind of like more serious nature, which makes it fun. And welcome to the last fight. You're at the surface. This counts actually as getting to the surface for certain things. And here you fight your father,
The
Hades.
shield of chaos. What a monstrous thing. How suitable for you.
And they have a little chat. He's a little bit nicer to me now that I've actually finished the game, but for like the majority of the game, he is not necessarily a good person towards you. And he is also one of the more powerful things. These skulls that he throws down, which are basically kind of like your cast, when you get hit by them, which I'm currently hit by, you take more damage. As you saw, I just took 75. Or if you let them go on the timer, I lost. They do like a little ranged attack, which is not fun.
To think you're so receptive to this form of
He can summon enemies or adds to the fight, which also makes it extremely hard. I'm gonna go invincible here, so I can get some nice damage. Which you dead.
on yourself.
And no, I brought this on myself. Ah, got it. There we go. And
The fury of Olympus.
he has two phases, so that was phase one, and I'm now on to phase two, which he features different attacks, or some different attacks, and some same attacks as I die again. So this is where the extra Death Defiance comes in real handy. So I have an extra one at my disposal. He does this laser attack, which I could actually block with my shield, which is nice to know. For those who want to ever find out. Block a lot of his stuff with my shield.
Behold our power.
See, he has a lot of health. These things, if you get caught on them, it stuns you for a second, which is not fun. And they deal damage to you. I actually want to get rid of. So, and now his attack went from 3 prongs to 10 prongs, or 12 prongs, or how many prongs that was. Can't really tell when you're fighting him. Or you can hide behind these pillars, which is what you use when you're not using the shield. Oh, he's just plain out missing me right there. Okay, that was interesting. And I died. Oh, I died to thinks I only have 100 left. Okay. I can still attack him while he's doing this since I'm invincible. Almost got him now. There we go. So that was a little close. Almost lost. But hey, got him. So now that I completed that Heat 4, I can now go up to Heat 5 and get more resources. This is more like the endgame grinding. Now that I'm beating him, it displays this sheen here, which is nice. The screen here, sorry, which details what you got boon wise, and some other information here. Over here. So my best, I used that Heat 7. My best clear time was in 25 minutes. I cleared this in about 31 minutes, which is actually pretty fast. And it shows my best times and heat with each of the weapons, and how many times I've cleared it as well. So it's pretty nice. Also, you can also streak. So I have 31 total clears, which is kind of low. My current streak is 1, and my best streak is a 5. So that's fun. Thank you for watching. This is Hades. I'm sorry that this is it's a long video. But hey, it's been fun. Thank you for getting me to Hades. I can go in here. Normally this would lead to not a story area, but after 10 clears it switches to this this screen here
made one of his fatal mistakes
and resets you, because you technically die. And thank you again, and have a good day.
Wonder if I can get out even faster.